Hello, everyone. It is Brent. Welcome to a live Q&A session. It's a crisp, cold night here in Cleveland. Hope you had an incredible day today. So without any further ado, we're going to dive in. We have a lot to unpack today. You know, one of the things I talk about all the time is the fact that we are brainwashed, all of us. From the moment that we're born, we're programmed by our families, our friends, the school, government, the media, society at large. For the first 8 years of our lives, our subconscious mind is in record mode. Now, it's during those years that our subconscious creates both our thought patterns and our belief patterns. And here's the scary thing. Those are the rusty, out-of-date programs that are running in your mind today. And it's that mindset that is ruining our lives because it's keeping us from happiness. So what if I told you there's nothing that you couldn't do, nothing you couldn't be, and nothing that you couldn't have, and not in some airy-fairy, unleash your inner giant kind of way? Now, I've spent the last 2 decades touring the world teaching people about the immense powers of the mind. During that time, I've worked with presidents and prime ministers, professional athletes, celebrities, and corporate CEOs, the most successful people on the planet. And I can tell you, there is one thing that is the same for each and every one of them. And that is, they understand mind power. They know how to harness it. They know how to focus it where it matters in their lives. For over 20 years, my overriding belief has been that ordinary people are capable of extraordinary things. We all possess almost limitless capabilities that are far beyond what the senses can perceive and what the mind can understand. It's far beyond our wildest imagination. I want you to experience greater things in your life than you ever thought possible. And that's why I'm here. Tonight, we're live. It's Tuesday, December 7th. It is 7:02 p.m. and I'm going to be answering your questions. I've received a few great ones already. We're going to get to those first. But if you have anything you want to ask live, you can drop it into the comment question box and we'll get to it. All right. So all you got to do is sit back, relax, open your mind, and we're going to go through this together. By the way, tonight, if you stay here till the end, I'm giving everyone who attends this Q&A a free copy of my book, The Secrets of Mind Control. It's a $30 value, my gift to you. And trust me, you want this book. If you deal with fear and anxiety in your life, if you're avoiding situations because of it, trying to avoid emotions, this work will help you reclaim your life because you'll get your life back from crippling anxiety. And I've got a step-by-step approach in there. Nearly a third of all people suffer from something, fear, phobias, panic attacks, obsessions over the course of their lifetime. In this book, we talk about everything from social anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, and so much more. At the end of this, I'm going to give you a link to download your free copy. No strings attached. It is my gift to you, and I want you to have it, especially now during this crazy time in the world. All right, so let's jump into it. We're going to go first to a question I received earlier by direct message. And that was, let's pull that up. What questions should I ask myself when I'm starting my spiritual journey? So this is obviously somebody at the beginning of their journey. We're all on it, and we're all in different places on that journey. And there's really no end to it. So if you're anywhere along the path, welcome, and you're winning. Because just being aware is 90% of this battle, this mental battle. So we're going to go deep into it. Questions you should ask yourself when you start a spiritual journey. The thing is, spirituality is misunderstood, especially if you're putting it up against religion. So a lot of times people are conflicted. It's kind of a misunderstood concept, but it's a journey nonetheless. And it's a journey of self-discovery. Because you're going to come to a realization of not only who you are, but who you really want to be. Not who the neighbors wanted you to be or your parents wanted you to be. It's who you want to be. Spirituality represents a challenge of reaching beyond those normal levels. That's why 95% of self-help, self-improvement doesn't seem to work. And it's not the person's fault, you know? So I'm going to give you 12 questions that you need to answer yourself if you want to see results. And of course you do. Transformation is what we're going for. Change isn't enough. You want to be the butterfly that can't go back and become the caterpillar because of transformation. So I'm going to ask you some questions. We're going to do this together. I want you to take a moment with each question, think about it. And we'll do this live because I've put this together. I've worked on this all day today. I've carefully selected what to ask because it's going to spark your conscious and your subconscious mind into action. So you need a moment or two to answer carefully. So right now, it's like you're here with me. Just find a comfortable spot, relax, and start thinking. You don't have to write your answers down. If you're near a pad or your journal, you can certainly do that. Writing your answers along with it would be beneficial down in the long run when you come back to it, but not a problem, all right? So let's get to the questions. These are the questions that you need to be asking yourself. Question number 1, who are the people with the greatest impact on my life? You want to identify the people who have influenced your lifeline. You want to keep those people who have positive effects in your life. You want to discard those people who bring negativity. And you know who they are. And if there's someone close, a close family member, maybe cutting them completely loose isn't going to be possible, but you can definitely change the way it plays out. So the first question, who are the people with the greatest impact in my life? All right. Question number 2, how have these people affected me until now, until today? You want to determine how those people you love have influenced the way that you believe. When we're born, everything is amazing and new, and we're blank. We have nothing downloaded into us yet. It is our parents that teach us right and wrong in their eyes, religion in their eyes. So we are programmed. So I want you to try to remember incidents from the past. Try to think about special occasions. Try to think about situations that are somehow connected with your spiritual beliefs. So how have these people affected me until today? And question number 3, who is the person with whom I feel the most comfortable? Think about it. Who is the person that you feel the most comfortable around? This is critical. Like Joel Bauer says, mission critical. Because among all the people in your close circle, there has to be someone who is more special than anyone else. Why is that? Because he or she has such a positive effect on you. So find this person and keep in touch with them as often as possible. Question number 4. This is where the rubber starts to hit the road. What is the ideal job for me? Now, not just what is the ideal job for me, but what if there was no money in the world, right? What would you do then? Now, I understand that's more than one question, but you want to realize what is your best area of expertise? Because if you know how you can share it, you have to know how you can share it. That is how you monetize if you want to sell it. Helping others by sharing your expertise is the best way to achieve success in your life. But you also want to measure your dependency on money because that's important. So question number 5, how important is my job for me? Do I love my job? If you're working on a field that you have no interest in, then you have to identify that. You have to go out and seek a more suitable job. You should be doing things you actually love. I know what you're thinking. It's my job. Brent, it's easier said than done. I get it. But your passion, those dreams are there for a reason. They are yours. They are attainable. So, do you love your job, the job you're in right now? Now we're going to move a little bit. I don't like to play in future or past. Now is the only moment that matters. The past is okay to go back if you're using it for reference, but living in the past is a mistake. Would have, could have, should have. And then fear of the future is a mistake. Scared to death of things that are never going to happen. And all of your time is spent in the past or the future and not here now, which is the only way you can do anything. So question number 6. Question number 6 is, where do I want to be in a decade? Where do you want to be in 10 years? Where do you see yourself? This is a trick question to test your skills in setting and visualizing those long-term goals. Now, we talk every day about visualization. It's a big part of my morning routine. It's something I teach. Visualization is important if you're going to take control of your mindset. So think, where do I want to be 10 years from now? Be relaxed. Don't get stressed about it. Just think about it. Where do you see yourself? Now, remember, this video will be available. It's live now, but you can go back. You don't have to do these and worry that you don't have enough time. You can feel free to go back, watch this video. It'll be left up for you, okay? But just think, where do you want to be a decade from now? And since you're in the future there in your mind, I want you to think, what are your goals for this month? What are your goals for this year? What are your goals for the next? You want to be empowered with the ability to set and visualize goals, especially to start short-term goals. Because what will happen when you reach those goals, that burst of energy, that burst of accomplishment will be the fuel that drives you farther. So short-term goals are important. Think about this later. Where do you want to be in a month, in a year, the year after that? Try to make a clear and precise image of the goals you have in your mind. Take an inventory. Are those goals still present? Is it something your parents wanted for you? Is it even something you want anymore? Are the dreams that are locked away in your mind even really your dreams anymore? That is important. Question number 8. How can I avoid a stagnant life? It's another tricky question. You may not even want to answer this because you don't want to believe you have a stagnant life, right? You don't want to embrace any darkness. A lot of people don't. In order to see the light, though, sometimes you've got to go into the shadow. You've got to do some shadow work. What you want is to always evolve and always be a useful part of the universe. So how can I avoid a stagnant life? Just think about that. Number 9, do things happen in my life for a reason? Everyone seems to have an answer for this question. Some will tell you nothing happens without a reason. What's your opinion? Do things happen for you in your life or not? For a reason. Really, that's a deep question if you think about it, because you can fall in 2 camps there. So think about that one. Question number 10. This is another big one. It's another deep one. What is my purpose in life? What is my purpose in life? Not only that, but I would say there's part B to that question, and it is, do I have one? Another thing Joel Bauer, a mentor of mine, says all the time is dreams come true if you have one. So do you have one? Do you have a purpose? Do you know what your purpose is? Because you want to identify your true purpose in life, because you have to have one. If you don't, you're never going to find it. A great friend of mine was Gavin McLeod from The Love Boat, Captain Stubing. And he used to say, we did a lot of cruises together. We hung out a lot in Palm Springs. He used to say, life is like a cruise. Life is like a cruise ship. And of course, Captain, it is. But tell me, how is that? But what he said was very profound. You know, the ships are now it's hundreds of millions of dollars, multi-million-dollar ships. They have fantastic crews. They have all this state-of-the-art equipment. In the morning or the night before, they can set their destination in the computer. The passengers go to sleep. The next day, they wake up, they're in the next port of call. It's amazing. That only works if you know where you're going. So imagine if the same boat, the crew just decided to leave, and instead of putting in any data, they just turn on the engines and let the ship go. The ship's never going to go anywhere. It's going to definitely sink, right? It's never going to make it out of the harbor, let alone into some other port. That's because there is no destination. You have to know where it is that you're going. That's what you need to do. Then when you'll start to see your true purpose coming in this crazy world. Question number 11. We only have, this is one more after this. Question number 11. What experiences have shaped your spiritual beliefs? What experiences have shaped your personal or your spiritual beliefs? The question here is to dive into the subconscious. The best time to get in there, by the way, early morning, late at night, right before you go to sleep, first time when you wake up. That's when you can get in there a little bit with some of the exercises that I teach you. But this question is to get in there. By answering this, you'll be able to identify all the limiting beliefs. So all the false beliefs that you were brought up with. And question number 12, the final question, the big one, the one everything hinges on, is right here. Am I a good or bad person? Take your time before answering that question, and keep in mind that evil and good are relative terms. What is good for you might not be good for me. Another thing, there is nothing that is absolutely evil or absolutely good. Can a knife be evil when it's used both for slicing bread or killing somebody? People give positive or negative polarity to things. Is the internet a work of evil or good? So these are 12 spiritual questions you should be asking yourself if you're just starting out on your spiritual journey, or if you want to do a little pit stop and just check in with yourself. All you have to do now is go back, watch this video again, and perform this exercise, and really do yourself a favor, write down the answers. It seems easier said than done, but I promise you, when you finish this, you will be so well armed with great knowledge. And it's not just knowledge that you collect from books and all of that. There are knowledge collectors, but this is knowledge about the true you. And that is priceless, because everything you find out about yourself and your inner workings are going to change, transform the you that you are now. All right, so that was question number 1 about the spiritual journey, questions to ask when you go on the spiritual journey. The next question comes from one of our moderators in our Facebook community, Lorianne. She wants to know, how do I stop? So she's saying she's empathetic, she's compassionate, and she's expecting that from other people. So I keep breaking my own heart and it hurts. So what should I do? That is a great question, Lorianne. We'll dive into that. One thing you have to do, and I want you to keep this in mind, all right? Keep this phrase in mind. You have to stop expecting you in other people. Just remember that. You have to stop expecting you in other people. Now, it's nasty, it's logical, but there's part of me, that thinks about this. We're always told we're imperfectly perfect. We're told to focus on our positive qualities. So what we do is we start looking for that same sense of perfection in other people, to see the good in others, except we're looking for that good to measure up to our own perceived goodness. And when we don't get it from other people, we're left disappointed. I know you've been there the same as I have. I used to do that all the time in the past. People suck. Why is it so hard to find people who are compassionate? All the good ones are gone, etc., etc. But what exactly makes up a good, genuine, decent human being? Universal qualities like kindness and being respectful and compassionate and giving. We start to forget that those qualities may only be seen in the way we expect to see them. A person is nice because they let someone behind them go ahead to the grocery store because they only had a few things, yet you were next behind with only a few items, as well as that person didn't let you go in front. Now they're suddenly inconsiderate because your expectation of them was let down. Meeting expectations is something that still I suffer with, but I used to battle constantly. I used to be convinced that people were impossible to please, and that included myself. Obviously, because my needs and my wants changed daily, even hourly. So now as an adult, I'm seeing how this made me fearful and early on codependent in ways I had to change. I always felt I had to work at maintaining people's different expectations of me, and I had to hate the parts of myself that other people didn't like. This ultimately made me resentful of other people, but I also hated the fear of disappointing others and feeling disconnected and feeling unworthy or not enough. They tell us all the time people's opinions of us shouldn't matter. And of course, they really shouldn't, but that's not true because to us, they do matter, especially the opinions of those we love and care about. So this fear becomes a big internal struggle for people as they grow up and become adults. They're trying to figure out who they are, who I truly am. And they're doing that because they're conditioned to believe that others' perceptions of them was true. And so it's very, very difficult to unpack that for some people. The big takeaway, and it's a conscious mistake we all make in life, is understanding how expecting to see yourself in other people can have such a negative impact on your mental health, on your overall happiness. Because if you live your life based on your expectations of others, you are going to live a slow, painful life. We have to stop expecting to see us in other people. So, what are some of the things we need to stop? First, we need to stop expecting others to fulfill us or make us whole. There isn't anyone on earth who knows you best, nor has the power and the duty to your happiness or purpose in this life. Just like they say money can't buy happiness, stability may be one thing, luxuries are another. Some of the richest people in the world, and I have worked with and met some people that would blow your mind. They're still some of the unhappiest and the most unfulfilled. Nothing, no one is responsible for making you completely happy or fulfilled except for you. We go all over the world trying to find someone to make me happy. When I get this job, I'll finally be happy. When I get this car, this house, this, that, this, and it puts happiness off in the distant future. First, you grant yourself happiness because happiness is a thing that's inside. Go out in the outside world and try to buy a pound of happiness. Go out and try to get a bucket full of passion. Not going to happen. You have to give those things to yourself first. It's only you completely responsible for your failure or success in this life. Next, oh, this is a good one. Stop expecting others to agree with you or understand you. Now, Lorianne, these aren't just for you, obviously. This is for anybody who would have this question, but I wanted to go deep into it. Personally, I don't believe our purpose of life is to convert, to belittle, to invalidate, to change anyone's opinion, beliefs, or way of thinking. Only my own directly affect me, no one else's. So why allow someone else's choosing to ruin mine? Now, this goes without saying we should be more open-minded and we should be more accepting of other people. But the more you honor your own opinions, your own beliefs, your own feelings, the less approval you require from other people. Sometimes this need for validation turns into the need to change and control other people. I used to go into a frenzy when anyone tried to imply or instill or preach or solicit me about their views, knowing that mine were different. Because the last thing I want to do is be chastised for, every one of us having different views. Growing up, my dad was not encouraging about opinions, right? And beliefs. So it was difficult to manage. But now it's been years and years that the anxiety, the fear, all of that has gone away. But expecting other people to agree. People have different opinions. Nobody sees reality the same way. No two people. Because reality is always seen through the lens of your past. So three people standing together are seeing the world in front of them completely differently. Okay? Facts and data and personal experiences, those are all logical. But many people will ultimately believe what they want to believe, even if it's a fantasy, the popular majority or the lesser minority. Many hold on so tight, whether they lose the respect and the acceptance of others or not, they don't care. I never understood or saw the benefit of having these stone-hard perceptions and these opinions or beliefs. Yet we all struggle with having them, disagreeing with them sometimes. The goal of trying to make people understand and think the same of you is just another way of conforming to this groupthink. But more than that, it is also a complete waste of energy. Next, Stop expecting others to pick up what you throw down. I love this. People come and go momentarily, or they stay throughout our lives. And they are here to help us. They support us, guide us, motivate us, encourage us. And we've all been there, using self-sabotaging behavior simply to hear those words of affirmation or to be taken care of by someone else. But people are not meant to be used as vessels for your negativity. For instance, say you have a job interview tomorrow and you're nervous. You tell a friend you don't think you're skilled enough to be in this corporate world. You just don't think you can do it. No harm, no foul. Everybody needs to pick me up now and then. But this kind of behavior is done by program. This is someone who tends to kick themselves in the ass when they're already down, or intentionally out of a need for someone else to blanket their wounds. Times get tough, and it's reassuring to have those in your life you know you can rely on, love you, guide you. But relying on others to save you and essentially bringing them down with you, it's a surefire way to live in constant, repetitive misery. You know what else is something you need to do? Stop expecting others to like, love, and respect you. This was so big for me because people usually, especially back in the day, it was a love or hate thing. There usually was no gray area. And I had such strong opinions. Everything is different now. But you have to stop expecting others to like, love, and respect you, especially when you're not giving that to yourself, because you got to give it to yourself first. The way you treat yourself is showing other people how to treat you. Let me say it again. The way you treat yourself is showing others how to treat you. But the one thing most forget is that while you might be the most perfect, ripest peach on the tree, not everyone likes peaches. And you have to be okay with that. This is why you're encouraged to surround yourself with those who accept you, who value you, rather than expending your energy trying to fit in a square into a circular hole. This is most people, I would say, this. Stop expecting others to change, or to be accountable, or to be the bigger person, or to take the blame. You can't make someone be anything. You can't make someone else be more or less anything. And especially, you can't make someone be the ideal image that you want to see. We expect people to change, and we wait around miserably for it. We feel like this is some sort of self-sacrifice. It's become a conditioned act as human beings. Now, I say human beings, I believe we're spiritual beings. We're having a human experience. Down here, we think we have it backwards. We're all think we're humans trying to be spiritual. It's actually the other way around. Change is very personal, and change is very individual. It's a self-choice. When change is genuine, it will occur not because you want it to, or not because you prayed for it, or not because you think it's the best thing to do. The other person has to want it. That's the only way it happens. That's the catalyst for change. So maybe they see you and they are motivated by your change. That's okay. That's a great thing to do. But trying to force someone, tell someone, that never works. But you could be the example that makes others change. And you let them see the value in it themselves. So when there are things you want to change about your relationship, your partner, your kids, your friends, it's because you are wanting access to something you can't control. The only person you can control and change is you. If you remember that, so many problems just fall away. They can't hold up to that sentence. The only person who can control you, the only opinion that really matters, the only person that's in control of this, your reality, inner reality, the reality in your head, we all have one. That is actually your primary reality. The outer world is reality too, but we're all in it backwards. We have all these things going on in the outer world and we take it in. It's actually the other way around. We're control freaks. What else do you need to stop expecting? How about this? Stop expecting an apology. Stop expecting closure. Stop expecting forgiveness. Because the hard truth is, you don't always get it. The person may have passed, the person may be hard-headed, the person may be one of a million different things. But frankly, it doesn't matter because you don't need it. You don't need I'm sorry. You don't need I forgive you to move on and be happy because they've got you trapped. They are still winning if they are, and I have clients and students that are controlled by a parent who's been dead for 30 years. You're allowing someone else's approval to control you and to control your happiness. And guess what? Then it might not come. And ultimately, it's never going to change the situation. Be the one brave enough to give yourself the closure you need. Be the one who's strong enough to forgive yourself. Every morning, part of my morning routine, I do meditation. I do transcendental meditation. I do visualization and affirmations. I do gratitude. But I also forgive myself. And I forgive the people I care about. And I forgive people from my past. And I let go of that. You got to take off the chains that you allow. It's like you are wrapped up in chains and locks your entire life and never realize you've got the key in your pocket. It's time to drop those chains and step out into your life. Just a few more. I have a couple of more. These last few, I just felt so deep about. Stop expecting others to be happy. Stop expecting others to be happy. You're driving along, you're minding your own business. There's that one person that cuts you off. They swerve across 3 lanes, slam on their brakes, beeps at the car in front of them for driving too slow. All these curse words, people yelling at themselves. I'm thinking, dude, chill out. What the person did was uncalled for, was unnecessary. And this is just a light example. But at the same time, you weren't taking into consideration they could have been dealing with an emergency, even if it was just racing home to go to the bathroom. You know, I remember going 90 miles an hour down the highway the night my dad died, and I got the call. You don't know what's going on. But the easiest way to start making changes in your life, and I kid you not, is traffic. See what you do in traffic. Those are the easiest things to do. The guy in front of you is driving slow. You're yelling, you're cussing. You're having a whole two-way conversation with this guy. He has no idea. You're yelling at him in your head. You're doing his part, your part. You're creating stress and anxiety in your body. Chill out about it. Driving is the easiest way to start because without even realizing it, we consciously assume, we dismiss, we label people, we invalidate the way people are feeling, and we do it all the time. Everyone has their own internal battle, their own internal struggle, yet we always expect to see other people's light. We don't want to see their darkness. It's really not that hard to be happy, even when you're not, for the sake of other people, right? See how bad that sounds? It's really not that hard to be happy, even when you're not, just for the sake of others. It's not right, right? It's important that while everyone should embrace their light, that in no way means you should ignore the darkness, and especially your own. Shadow work is so important when you're on your spiritual journey. Now, being a 25-year entertainer, speaker who's performed all over the world, known as the mastermind, that I couldn't go without this one. Stop expecting others to read your mind. If I could give you one piece of advice, this is it. People always looking for one thing I could do. This is it. When it comes to your personal relationships, it comes to your friendships, we all want partners, we all want friends, we all want family members to make us happy without having to ask them, right? That's fine. I get it. But expecting a connection between others to have a basic, consistent flow without effort, without direction, without expression, it's always going to be a dead-end game. Your wants and your needs and your desires, they change all the time, daily, hourly. Today, your desire may be to have a clean house and finish the book that you're reading. Tomorrow, maybe it's accomplish work so you can have a 3-day weekend and you can take a painting class. Yours is different from everyone else's. If one day you need someone's support, but the next day you need time alone, the only way you'll get that is to tell them, because they are not mind readers. If one day you're social and the next day you're locked away somewhere, you got to communicate that. When you're expecting other people to read your mind, what are you doing? You're setting them up to fail. You're setting them up to look like the failure. And when your expectations aren't met, then you bitch about it. Those complaints are hidden desires. and only you know what they are. When you complain to your partner or anyone that you both never do anything fun or whatever it is, you're expecting them to read your mind, to discover the hidden desire behind your complaint. That's because you're hoping for a specific end result. Maybe you want your partner to step up, make you happy, do more date nights without being asked. This is why most will say when they tell their partner to step up on date night, and they do, it often feels forced. Easy answer, it is. That's because your hidden desire actually has nothing to do with them. Yet it's easier to simply blame someone else because that's who is expected to fulfill them. So it's no wonder we're often so disappointed. In order to have that organic intimacy, that natural connection, you have to express, you have to use your voice, you have to communicate your true desires, not expect your partner to read your mind. So the true desire behind the complaint that you're having, so say this idea that you never go out together may really be that you want to try some new restaurant in town, see some movie that's out now or something. So see, there's something behind it. And finally, last but not least, what else do you need to stop doing? You need to stop expecting a specific outcome or an end result. If you get rid of the idea that the world has to be the way you want it, things have to be the way you want it. I want this, I don't want that. I'm going on a picnic, so it can't rain. It's got to blah, 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 blah. You are setting yourself up for a life of misery because you've pitted yourself against the universe. You think things have to be this way to make me happy. They can't be this way, and on and on and on. Nobody can make you feel inferior or anything without your consent. The crazy thing is people still consent to so much negativity in order to get a specific outcome. What does that mean? Well, we consent to anger. We consent to offense. We consent to disappointment simply because we're expecting validation and gratification as the result. When things don't go our way, we expect compensation. When we go above and beyond or do things for others, we expect something in return. Sometimes we expect something from nothing. This is the quickest way to disappointment. Life will not always be fair. Life will not always be easy. And people will usually not live up to your expectations. But you are also not meant to live up to other people's expectations. Powerful. So powerful. Suffering, really, what is the line? The first rule of, or the first suffering is, I want this, I don't want that. As soon as you have that mindset, it's going to completely screw you up. Completely. Okay, what do we got next? If you have not joined our Facebook community, you need to do that for absolutely sure. I'm reading your comments here. Awesome. Sounds good. Thanks for watching. I always appreciate it, man. If you haven't joined our Facebook community, now's the time. It is a fantastic group of like-minded people banded together, empowering each other, helping each other, giving you the tools you need to transform your life. We'd love to have you as a member. It's facebook.com/groups/students of self-empowerment. It's facebook.com/groups/students of self-empowerment. And here's some good news. We did it. We just crossed another milestone yesterday. We welcomed our 7,000th member. And it's crazy. I started this group a year ago. With the pandemic, I wanted to give something back. I'm usually on the road 300 days a year. And then for the first time in 25 years, I was home and I was able to devote time. And I've become so passionate about teaching people what I've learned all these years from all of these successful people. And not just successful monetarily, with spiritual teachers and gurus and monks. So what I did was create this group to give you the tools that you need. I've created this group. We've done no advertising. We're not selling anything. We've created this group, and organically, without advertising, we brought in 7,000 members, and it grows every single day. We're continuing to grow our family. So I want to say a huge thank you to every member out there. And keep in mind, this is your community. That's why it's here. My team and I spend hours a day creating and cultivating content for you. And we have the other arm of our business, which is the money-making side. We're doing this because you need the tools to take control of your life. When you change yourself and you start living a good life, people see it, they start wanting to change, and it's a ripple effect. We can literally change the world. I love you. I believe in you. And I know that together, if we can just do that slight shift in our mindset, we can change the world. Now, as promised, I'd like to give you a copy of my book, The Secrets of Mind Control. We talked about it earlier. Mind control is not what you think. People hear mind control and they believe it is controlling someone else's mind, being able to see someone and hypnotize them. This, however, is real mind control. This is the mind control the government paid to study. This is the mind control where you learn to control your own mind. Because when you do that, no one else can control it for you. It also will give you help with anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder. Any kind of fear or crippling anxiety is covered here, and it's absolutely free. I want you to have a copy. It's a $30 book. It's my gift to you. We'll call it a holiday gift, a Christmas present. Just go to brentwebb.com/free-book. Hyphen's got to be there. I found out, my team just told me. It's brentwebb.com/free-book. And don't forget to join or subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have over 300 videos. We do almost one a day, one or more a day. So we have a ton of videos. This organization, this community, we've been going for about a year. So 300 videos is pretty good. It's almost one a day. But we only have about 360 subscribers. We're not advertising or doing anything. So if you want to help us, you don't have to buy anything. Support us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, sharing it with your friends, watching the videos, sharing the posts in our Facebook community. This is a family, and all of these spokes of the wheel are yours. The channel is there for you. All the videos are self-help, self-development, my ideas, mind hacks, tricks, and techniques. Everything you need to change your life is here. You don't have to go anywhere else. It's all here. In fact, it's youtube.com/BrentWebbOfficial, youtube.com/BrentWebbOfficial. But the video I did about domestication, I love this, that we are domesticated like the family dog. When we're born, it's good boy, bad girl, do this, don't do that. We're domesticated. And that video is available now on our channel. I've been getting a lot of great emails about it. So go take a look at it. We are domesticated. What can we do about it? Now, finally, if you are looking for something different this year to give as a Christmas present, why not give the gift of transformation? Aha. Give the gift of self-empowerment. Give the gift of personal development. Mom doesn't need another bottle of white diamonds. Dad doesn't need another ugly tie. And your 28-year-old son living in the basement doesn't need the new iPhone. What they need is transformation. If you go to brentwebb.com, you can take a look. You can see, first of all, at my shop, all my ebooks, my courses, that sort of thing. But my Mindset Reset coaching program is something that I want to talk about real quick. It is something that can change your life. We align your goals. We take your objectives. We infuse them with new energy and we move them forward so they appear on your horizon. I want you to reach your goals. We do this not in a cookie cutter way. Each program is designed for each person. That's why we do an application process. It's not just something everyone signs up for. I take 10 students at a time. I want you to accelerate what you're out to accomplish and make it come faster than you ever thought possible. I want to give you my unique skills. I've been doing this a long time. Now it's powerful because it's one-on-one. Because of the magic of technology, we work once a week, 45-minute call via Zoom. We powerfully align your goals. We talk about what's important to you now, what you want to focus on, what you're passionate about. I give you every tool and technique you need to unlock and unleash the untapped powers of your mind, to transform your life and go from fear to freedom, guaranteed. In fact, I have a money back guarantee. It's 100%. And I have almost the same success rate, because what we do here is we shift your mindset. We open and change your mind. If you have a mindset of lack we're going to change it to abundance. If you are a procrastinator, if you don't believe your dreams can happen, if it's too late, that's what you think. It's not true. You can have your dreams. You just have to reformat your goals and go from there. That's what I do. So if you're interested, no hard sell. Go to brentwebb.com. You can apply to work with me. You can get some more information about my mindset reset. And finally, I got some great emails about the video I did about Phyllis Diller. Phyllis was an amazing human being. When I was a kid, 2 books influenced my life. One was Hustle Hustle by Joel Bauer. And I talked to, we have some members of the Joel Bauer group here, the mentor group. And the other one was The Magic of Believing. That's the book that changed her life as well. And Phyllis became a success and a star at 38, mother of 5. They told her she wasn't funny. They told her she wasn't attractive, that she would never make it. And she made it anyway. And she says it's all because of the magic of believing. And I love this quote from her. All we are surrounded by is our mental equivalent. If you think lack and want, then you're going to lack and you're going to want. I always thought luxury and I always thought beauty, and I have it because I felt it. I knew it. The main thing is you must feel it. You can't just think it. You must act as if you already had it, which I always did. This book changed her life. Believing really is magic, and belief is a big part of what we do here. Belief in yourself, paramount, mission critical. Fantastic video. If you haven't seen it, go to our YouTube channel, take a look. It's What I Learned from Phyllis Diller, part 1 and 2. So that's all I got for you today. I want to thank you for joining me today, and I'll be back again tomorrow. And we're going to try, like I said, we'll try to broadcast every single day. I'm away from my home studio right now, but I will be back on camera this week, hopefully. So that's why I made the slides today, to give you something to look at while I was talking. So that's all I got. I want you to go out, enjoy yourself, give yourself a break. We give everyone else second, third, fourth chances. Why don't we do that for ourselves? If anyone deserves it, we do. So don't worry, and be happy and feel good. And always remember the line that rules my life. Keep this in the forefront of your mind. Something good is going to happen to you. Just believe it, and it happens. I'll see you tomorrow. Just yes or no, is there something that you're thinking of that has to do with a motorcycle or motorbike?
Yes.
It has to do with, is your wife with you?
Yes.
Interesting. Has to do with your wife as well. Did you propose to your wife on a motorbike?
Yes.
Give it 2 applause. Take a seat. So, password to their cell phone. If your password to your cell phone is 4471, just yell out. Yeah.
Somebody is thinking about the city of Westminster. Where is that person? Westminster. Right there in the front. Or near the front, right by you. Good. You can take your hands off your mouth now, it's okay. Pass the mic down, please. What? Is there a 4 in there?
Yes.
And a 6?
Yes.
Think of the street. Edro?
Oh my God.
Is it Edro Isle? Is that right?
Yes.
You are thinking about a very long series of numbers, am I correct?
Yes.
Is this a phone number, or what kind of number is this?
Delta Sky Miles.
Ah! The Delta Sky Mile number. You're just going to answer me after each digit. Are you ready? 2, 2, 1, 0, 3, 3. That's the hesitation. Is it a 4? A 3, 4? 7, 9?
Yes.
That's it? Good, give us some applause.
Bringing back the mentalist, Mr. Brent Webb.